Why, hello there, and welcome back to The Vault. In this show, we cover unknown or forgotten movies, and I am your host, Joshua Hinton. The movie we are covering this week is Prospect. Prospect is a sci-fi / western movie released in 2018, starring Pedro Pascal, Sophia Thatcher, and Jade Duplass. The movie earns a 6.3 on IMDb and an 89% fresh on Rotten Tomato. So here's a quick synopsis of the movie. A teenager, Thatcher, and her father, Duplass, arrive on an alien planet to mine for valuable ore. Unforeseen circumstances lead to the teen having to rely on a rival prospector, Pascal, to escape the planet. So the question is, does this movie deserve the 89% fresh on Rotten Tomato, or is it closer to the 6.3 given on IMDb? Like we do, I will discuss some of my dislikes and some of my likes from the movie and give my grade for the movie. Let us look at a few of the bad elements or a few of the things I disliked about the movie. The movie is only an hour and a half long, but it has long periods of time without any action or anything really going on other than the main characters walking and talking. So if nonstop action is more your style, this movie may not be for you. And then lastly, I think the method of the dialogue is delivered is a little clunky. They're in spacesuits most of the time, and it kind of creates this disconnect between you and the characters. As the dialect is given through the spacesuits, it kind of sounds like they're talking through a ham radio. It's just very staticky sounding, which is great because it makes it kind of authentic, but it kind of gives a disconnect. Like I said, you hardly ever see the characters outside of their spacesuit. So, in my opinion, it gives out this sort of disconnect with the characters. I think that Brian Tallarico of RogerEbert.com and a Rotten Tomatoes top critic review gives a good overview of what I think most people will think of the movie. Here's a quote from his review. While the effort is admirable and there are elements that work, Prospect never clicked with me. I will provide a link to his full review on RogerEbert.com in the description below. You will have to scroll all the way down to the bottom because it's from a full film festival, and Prospect is at the very bottom. So that is enough of the negatives. Let's look at the good elements of the movie. First, I like the lo-fi of the movie. It is not high CGI and explosions. And the space travel elements in the movie is probably based more in reality than we normally get with your typical sci-fi movie. Next, I really like the way the characters talk. It gives it sort of an old Western feel, makes it different from these types of movies in general. Here's an example from of some dialogue from Ezra, Pedro Pascal's character. Ezra, listen, I know well the lure of vengeance. I myself have frequently indulged, and I have not often found regret. And in this moment right here, I'm afraid for both of our sakes and most repulsed. Lastly, I think the movie does a great job building a universe. This movie seems like an introduction to a much larger universe. It feels like we're just dipping our toes into the shallow end and have yet to reach the full potential of what the universe could be. I think the movie leaves you wanting to know more about where this movie is taking place or what universe this movie is taking place in. And then I think Carrie Darling of the Houston Chronicle and top critic on Rotten Tomatoes gives an adept description of what some will find alluring about the film. Here's a quote from their review. The defiantly lo-fi prospect is smartly entertaining throwback that doesn't need a Marvel's movies worth of CGI to make its point. I will provide a link in the description below so you can read their full review if you want in the Houston Chronicle. So that is my dislikes and my likes of the movie. But is IMDb closer with its 6.3 or Rotten Tomatoes closer with its 89%? I will start out with I like the movie personally, and I think it's a good movie and worth a watch. But I also understand that this movie is not going to be for everybody. And some will view it as a slow burner with not much going on. So for that, I think that IMDb is probably closer with their 6.3. I personally give it a 6 out of 10 and recommend if you like low-budget sci-fi sci-fi movies. This movie can be found on Hulu, Amazon Prime, and rented on Vudu. Well, that is our episode for today. If you liked the video, don't forget to like or comment and check out all our other great content on NWTV7, available on Twitch and YouTube. For more movie reviews, tune in on Friday at 5:30 p.m. for Bottom of the Barrel, where I and Cade Kennedy watch and review bad movies. This is The Vault, and this is Joshua Hinton signing off, and have a great day and stay frosty out there.